Blondes always get asked if they have more fun. Tall people get asked if they play basketball or volleyball. I always get asked, have you guys ever switched places? Hi, my name is Alec Armour, and I'm an identical twin. Now, growing up as an identical twin isn't much different from the rest of you, but one big difference is with the introduction, and my brother and I have broken this down into 3 crucial steps. Are you guys twins? Yes. Have you guys ever switched places? No. Well, if I was a twin, I would totally switch places. Sure you would. For a group that makes up 3.4% of the population, meaning over 228 million twins worldwide, we are a vastly misunderstood peoples. And I don't just mean that in the colloquial sense. I mean there's very little conclusive research done on the development of twins. And most of it's done in the same way that I'm doing right now, as a personal reflection by a twin themselves. So with birth rates nearly doubled in the United States for twins since 1980, this is an increasingly important and impactful area of study. So another question I get asked is, are you guys like the same person? Well, to the people that mistake me for Justin on a weekly basis, and the people that mistake Justin for me on a daily basis, this may be true. And even you guys maybe have consciously or unconsciously thought that he likes it, so his twin must like it too. But like Justin's belief that white wine is better than red wine, you would be sadly mistaken. So today I'm going to prove to you that twins aren't just clones, but rather have a stronger sense of individual identity than individuals because of their need for differentiation, immediate point of reference, and cooperatively competitive natures. So first, I have a strong sense of individual identity because I had to purposefully build myself the way that I am. It's not something that came naturally. Twins grow up with a collective identity. It's a lot like being a married couple, except you're born that way. So that means, one quote by Lavoie puts this really well in his study of twins in 1989, when he says, while most people begin life separate and learn intimacy, my twin and I began life intimate and had to fight for separateness. Twins fight their whole lives for individuality because society will always assume their collectiveness. An article on Smithsonian.com entitled, "Twins Spend Their Entire Lives Trying to Be Different from Each Other," an amazingly overt title, talks about 20 older twins who still in their old age were spending time trying to be different from someone that society was making them fit to be like. Although I don't have 60 years of experience with this, I first noticed that this was a problem when I was writing essays for college, and I had to use the Control F feature to replace all the we's with I's. I knew I had to make a difference and really differentiate myself. So when I came to college, I did just that. I lived separately from my twin. I joined different clubs, and I had different friends. And the same thing was found in the study. All these 20 twins ended up in different career paths, and also never worked in the same company as their twin. This is because we understand what we like together already, but we have to work to find out what we like as individuals separate from our twin. So I built myself the way that I am. But the good thing is, I already had a great starting point to know my differences because you guys have been comparing our differences our entire lives. So that brings me to my second point. I have a stronger sense of the small aspects of my identity because I have someone identical to compare myself to. So we all get a better understanding of what we're good at when we compare ourselves to others. So as a twin, that means you really understand all of your small differences and they become a part of who you are. As a twin, I found that this is often something social. So I have 2 twin friends, Rachel and Alexis, and their mom describes Alexis as chill and Rachel as glitter. Now, we have a similar thing in my family. I'm considered the more bubbly twin, while Justin's seen as more personal. This doesn't mean that one of us is not the other, but it does mean that you noticing our small nuances to tell the difference between us, it becomes hyper-accentuated in our minds and becomes a part of our truths. So when I take personality tests, despite the fact that I'm quite good at one-on-one conversations, when I'm approached with that idea, I find it hard to say that I'm good at that because that's always been a part of Justin's identity. not my own. The positive side of this, of course, is that we know our differences well. So I'm pursuing business, and he is pursuing acting, because along the way we found that our strengths help us more in those different areas, and it allows us not to compete directly with one another. Which brings me to my last point, which is that I have a strong sense of my individual strengths because of cooperative competition with my twin. I've read 3 or 4 blog posts saying things along the lines of things you don't know about twins. And all of them have something that says, we're not as competitive as you might think, which I'm here to tell you is a downright lie. I'm extremely competitive with my twin, but over time it's transformed into something more cooperative. We know our differences, we know our strengths, so we learn to play to those. A big example of this was in musical theater. I did a lot of that growing up, and the first 5 shows I did, Justin and I were cast in the exact same part. Being twins, of course, we got to split one small part and got half the lines. We found out we did not like that. So we learned to go for different parts that played to our strengths. Justin has typically played the more lead role, while I go for the more character, humorous actors on the side, even though, of course, I'm the more handsome one. This is because of our identity as competitive identity twins, which is one of 6 twinship profiles ranging from more codependent twins to the collaborative relationship that my brother and I share. Because of this, we can preemptively stop people from assuming our sameness by differentiating ourselves from the beginning and therefore further understanding our own strengths in the process. So in conclusion, twins may have a stronger sense of their individual identity than you do because they had to purposefully find out who they were by differentiating themselves from their twins. They've also have an immediate point of reference to compare themselves to, and they've competed with someone their entire lives to further figure out their own strengths. Twins aren't just clones. While I may respond to Armor or Twin or even Justin, I am an individual. Twins are individuals, and they may have a better sense of what that means than you do. Thank you so much.